All right, team, welcome back to my Truman Show. In the last episode, I left off where the AG's office sent me a letter, sent my attorneys a letter that I didn't submit enough documentation, and that if I wanted to, I could submit more. My problem was I was the one pushing for that investigation the entire time. I wanted them to complete the investigation. And the first job that I had with the Arizona Department of Economic Security, the office that I worked in, did investigations like that. So I know how investigations are supposed to play out. And so when I say that, in my opinion, the Attorney General's office did the bare minimum investigation, they did the bare minimum investigation. And once two people that were deposed corroborated what I said, they stopped deposing people, wasted more time, then sent my attorneys a letter like 2 or 3 days before the statute of limitations was set to run out, because there's a time frame that you have to file your complaints and stuff. And so they set the case aside, said I could submit more things, but I had already waited a year for them to conclude their investigation. I had to go down to that office multiple times for them to get started and take my complaint seriously. A minimal investigation was done, and when that organization got the information from the AG's office that they were, they didn't find anything, et cetera, they celebrated, and allegedly, from what I've been told by a journalist, they tried to blast out some information, be like, see, she's just making it up, and blah, 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 blah. And then my attorneys and I filed the lawsuit like the next day. And they were shocked that we filed a lawsuit. So far in this litigation process, people have perjured themselves. My former boss and other people have lied about what happened. And fortunately for me, I'm not just some dumb, black, ignorant person like what racist people love to say. I have documentation and that backs up what I say, and that proves that these people were lying. Unfortunately, these people have done everything that they can to limit my voice and make sure that my story doesn't get told, to try to keep this out of court, which is why I'm talking now. Because so far in 2026, I have seen one too many black youth lose their lives at the hands of white Americans who are not reprimanded, and then it gets justified. And the fact that a 16-year-old girl, who I have to go back and get her name, I hate that I don't know it, was found hanging from a tree. And these are the things that we have to talk about in 2026. And that is why I will not let this fight with this basketball organization go. Because the NBA already told them that they needed to do better. They were given mandates to follow, to do better, because of the misogyny and the racism that ran rampant. I was hired there because of the issues, and I ended up being a victim of all of that. Because 20 years ago, my narcissistic, psychopathic ex interfered in a relationship that I had with an avoidant guy who got his new baby mama, fiance, whoever, involved in our business, pillow talking with her so that she would hate me. And then they intermingled with former friends of mine to network with people at work, to make a plan to steal from me, stole my identity, put me in a fake marriage. And allegedly, that organization was using what those people were saying to be like, see, she's aggressive. See, she's like schizophrenic and she's crazy and she has issues with her kids. Because yes, these people called CPS and made false reports trying to get my children taken away from me. And that organization allegedly was going to use this information to be like, see, this is why she's not there anymore. This is why, Andrea, we had to let her go, because she's crazy and she was always having issues, and that she's ignorant and that she's loud and ghetto and aggressive and makes everybody feel uncomfortable. Because that is what my psychopathic ex, avoidant guy I dated for 3 years, his wife, and some former friends that I haven't talked to in almost 5 years, because that's what they said. And we'll talk more in the next episode.